Hello, Steve Mills here. Welcome to another edition of the Results Mastery podcast. It's great to have you here. Thank you for being so, and I really look forward to sharing with you today some really exciting information about business and what you need to do in order to move it forward. I'm very privileged today to have with me a guest, someone I've known for quite some time. We help each other a lot on LinkedIn. And welcome, Joseph Mayanja. It's great to have you here, and really looking forward to talking to you about what you do. Before we just find out a little bit more about Joseph, just a reminder that if you've not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel and you've not yet subscribed to my podcast, please do so. Reason being, we want to get more people to really know and understand how to grow that business, how to protect that business, which is something we're going to be talking about today, how to market yourself, and so on and so forth. So get yourself subscribed, and thank you again for being here. So, Joseph, let's kick off, shall we, with a question about who you are and what you do, please.
Okay. Steve, thank you for having me on here. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on here and to have me on this podcast. It's been a while since we wanted to do this. Now today is a good time.
Yeah.
Just like Steve said, I'm Joseph Mayanja. I'm basically a protection advisor. And what really I do is I work with business owners, helping them to set up that foundation of financial foundation, making sure that if life doesn't go to plan, we have a plan B, that finances do not become a problem. That's in a nutshell of what I do.
Okay, great.
I've been doing it for a couple of years now.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. It's such an important thing, isn't it? And it's also really easy to neglect it. Think, oh well, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not ill. I'm not, I'm not going to have a car crash, or I'm not going to do. It's always happens to somebody else, never to me. And yet it does happen, doesn't it?
It does happen more often than not. But I think for me, my idea of talking about protection or talking about insurance is not more, it's more about thriving, more about success in what you do than scaring you of and thinking about what will happen. Really, because ultimately the thing that I borrowed from someone on LinkedIn they used, but they're saying you have to be betting on yourself. It's saying you are betting that nothing else will happen, but you only need to be wrong one time and
Mm,
everything unravels.
yeah.
That's it. So
Absolutely.
we're talking about really success and maintaining your success. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't go according to plan, then we have a backup.
Yeah.
That's it.
So there's a lot of people a little bit like me around, I think, who are, we're in business. I am my business. I've got a few people that work for me, but the implications of anything, I could be off for a few days with flu, but anything more than that, anything where I'm off for, I don't know, months or 6 months or whatever would probably be the end of my business, in truth. Maybe people, that work for me could keep it going, but I've got nobody full time. They all work for me part time, and the implications of that, are really very dire, aren't they? And yet people don't always, fully protect themselves. Why do you think that is? Why, are people like me not fully, not fully protecting themselves? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So that's a good question. But I've researched it, and now having made direct business owners, I have the answer now. Because ultimately, when you leave employment to go
Mhm.
into business, you're taking risk. Inherently, business owners are risk takers. So
Yes.
they are saying they are looking at risk, and risk is something that really they thrive on that up to a point. So
Yes.
when we talk about protection, we look at it as it may be so far away or it may not really happen.
Yes.
And that is understandable up to a point.
It's that
And
it'll
they'll
never happen
say,
to me, isn't it? Yeah.
it will never happen to me, which is fair enough. And I say this laughingly. Um, I pray for my clients that whoever I met or had a chance to meet with, they never get this situation.
Yes.
But we know life happens. Life happens. And like I said, you are betting on yourself, and nine times out of 10, it may never happen, hopefully.
Yeah.
But it's the one time that it happens. What's the result of that? That's what we try to do. We try to protect. So the reason, number one reason is we are business owners are risk takers, and they think it will never happen to me, or I'll do it at another time. But also the other reason is being busy. I'm busy running my business. There's no time to start looking at this other thing.
Yeah. Too
And
busy.
we tend to take it to be it's dark, it's being negative.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to bring in this idea of looking at things. We are looking at non-survival, we are looking at thriving. Because Steve, you're good at what you do. Like you said, you're the only one who can do what you do for yourself and your family. Only you.
Yeah.
So ultimately, if you're out of the picture, we are saying do not, if you're out of the picture for whatever long length of time, let you get the medical need, that the medical help that you need, but finances shouldn't be one of the problems. And that's how we bring protection in.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the other reasons I think as well is I agree totally with what you've said, by the way. It's, it's the thought, oh, it'll never happen to me, or I'll do it one day. I'll when I get round to it, when I get time. We all know nobody's ever got time. The amount of people who've been come into my world, and I've had meetings, and they'll say, yeah, well, I'm really keen to work with you, Steve, but right now I'm really busy. So if you contact me again in July, in a couple of months' time, perhaps we can go ahead. I contact them in July, and guess what happens, Joseph? What do you think? They're still just as
They
busy.
kick the can a little bit further
It's
down. Yeah.
it's just a nightmare, it really is.
Yeah.
So but the other thing I think is not knowing. I've always believed that until and unless somebody knows and understands the anybody's product or service and why they need it, they're not going to go ahead. And so I know with the, in the protection world, insurance world, there are lots of different things that I can protect, and I could and should do, have set up. But what are the like, in your opinion, like the no-brainers? You must have this in place. And what are the nice to haves, in a way, the things that it would be great if you'd got that, and some sort of priority as to what listeners should be doing and should be buying?
So that's good, because we, in the business, we have mandatory insurance, say your car insurance or your professional indemnity, your public liability. Those are mandatory to do business. But ultimately, for me as a protection advisor, because I talk about protecting the individual, the person, or the person, you, the business owner, or whoever works with you. So I talk about protecting against sickness, accidents, injury, or ultimately if death really happens. So I focus on those things. And this is why. Because however you think about automation, or however you think about people working for you, ultimately there will be a brain in that business. Now, for the most people that I talk to, they are the brain and maybe one other overseas person that is doing the smaller task. But ultimately, they're so ultimately, when you talk about your computers, your cars, your building, your office, those all needs a human being to manage them. And half the time is you. So what the no-brainer for me is protecting the engine that runs your business, which almost all the time, 9 out of 10, is the individual. That's you, your earning power. So the no-brainer for me is having a certain way where we are protecting ourselves, protecting you. If you can't work for whatever length of time, it may be a simple thing. Now, I may add this one very quickly, is most of us, when we talk about not being able to work, we think about a cancer, a heart attack, or a stroke. We think of drastic things. But things that can stop you working are minor, like a back injury, like a sprained ankle, like being in an accident, or mental health. These are the things that we normally ignore, but the cases that we are having from our providers,
Yeah.
and less than the cancer of the heart attack.
Yeah.
Simple
Yeah.
thing. I have an example that I will share later if you may.
Yeah. Sure.
Now, this one, I've asked for, in fact, I put it on my LinkedIn, one of the posts in the last week. So
Okay.
this gentleman was referred to me by one of my clients, and he was complaining that insurance were not paying him because he was claiming and they said no to his claim. So he was referred to me to help them understand. So when he came on the call, I asked, okay, what's going on? He said, I've broken my back and the insurance have refused to pay my claim. I said, so what insurance do you have? So he has a life insurance and he has a critical illness. I said, what else? He said, those are the two one I have because that's what I needed. I said, okay, so you have a broken back. He was lifting up his daughter coming back from work. Out of excitement, he pulled his back. And that back has put him out of action. Now it's 6 months. He can't
Wow.
sit for 30 minutes. He
Shows how
can't
easy it
stand
is.
for more
Yeah.
than it's that easy. So it's a broken back. So he needs to have surgery. So he's waiting for an appointment for his surgery, back surgery. So it's not a cancer, it's not a heart attack, it's not a stroke. Okay,
No,
something
no,
minor.
it's not critical.
Something is doing lovingly to pick
Yeah.
up his child.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
back is gone. But the two insurances that most people will have, most times I meet them, they can't help him in this situation.
Mm-hmm. No.
So for me, the no-brainer is protect your earning ability. That's your
Yeah.
income.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really good advice, I think, because it again, interestingly, I've got a friend over here on the Isle of Wight where I live. I play table tennis with him, and
Okay.
he's a builder. And he runs a building company. It's not like a sole trader, it's a limited company, and he's got people working for him. But he's got arthritis in his knee. He's already had one replacement knee, but he's got to have another one now. And luckily he does have some insurance in place. His problem on the short term is he's so busy coming. It's obviously the Isle of Wight, so you've got the summer season with everybody trying to get their holiday centres and hotels up and running, and he's like incredibly busy. But if he didn't have it in place, that's not a critical illness. He's not going to die of having arthritis in his knee, but it is going to stop him doing his job, isn't it? And without that insurance, the waiting list is over a year. So what I mean, I'm sure he could do something. He could probably sit at a desk doing the invoicing and stuff, and maybe even drive round, but he ain't going to be lugging big bags of cement up and down
He
ladders,
will not. He
stuff
will
like
not.
that. He's in his 60s as well, so
Yeah.
it's absolutely
Recovery may
crucial,
take a little while as well. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely crucial to make sure that you are protected. And yeah. So what should people do then? If somebody's listening and they're thinking, well, I haven't really done very much, and I've got life insurance that's set up, and maybe I've got critical illness set up as well, but do you do like an assessment, a risk analysis? What do you call it? What
Yeah.
do you do? And what's it
Yeah.
cost?
Yeah. So uh, I like that question. It's a nice segue. No, we do a risk assessment, and I have a report that I build for business owners to do risk assessment.
Okay.
Because ultimately, like before we came on a call, someone may say, I don't need insurance. There's some people who may not need.
Yeah.
I haven't found one who doesn't need, but
No.
there are some who may not, but there are some that may not be insurable. That's
I
another
suppose if
thing.
you've
We have
got
to factor.
if you've got 10 billion in the bank, you're pretty okay, aren't you?
Now you may be surprised.
All
The
right.
more money
Okay.
that people have, the more
Yeah.
insurance people
Oh,
get.
right.
Simply because
It's
the
interesting.
more that is coming in, the bigger the impact of an illness, the
Yeah.
bigger the impact of death. So
Yeah.
the bigger the impact, the more. So I work with business owners who are ranking in maybe 100,000 a year to 120 to 200. Now, the bigger your income, as in what you're bringing in, the bigger the effect if that income stops.
Yes.
Because all of us, the more income you get, your lifestyle also changes, and the things that you're investing also increase.
As your business
So
goes, you get a bigger house, which costs more, better
yeah, you
car.
get
You've got a Ferrari now.
I'm telling you. You get a bigger mortgage. Now, if I'm earning 60 a year, my mortgage may be 250 or 300. Now, people who have mortgages of 1 million, 2 million. So the bigger your income, the bigger your responsibility, the bigger your liability. So meaning the more, it doesn't reduce the need for an income protection. It just increases it. As simple as. So really what we do is we assess where your situation is, because there isn't one plan fitting all. So it depends on your situation, where you are now. There's the one thing, basically what we're talking about is income protection. Call it your sick pay, private sick pay. You manage it yourself or with your employees. And if one was off sick, you have an insurance paying into you.
Fantastic.
So that's really why it's an assessment. It's depending on how much you're earning or how much you're trying to protect, how old you are. So we have to do an assessment in that regard. But ultimately, the more you're getting in, the more the effect of that income stopping. Pretty much that is.
That makes perfect sense. It's just logical, isn't it? The more you've got to protect, the more it's going to cost, and it's getting that balance right, I suppose.
Yes, correct. So when we talk about this sick pay arrangement, private sick pay, or call it income protection, if your listeners are going online to check, basically call it income protection. Now, income protection for business owners is slightly different. It's not the same as income protection for employees, because we look at what you pay yourself. Now, most business owners that I have done, if they have a good accountant, they'll be getting the minimum, which is 12,500. Right? And then the others, they use it the other income comes through the business in a different way, maybe dividends, and all that. But if you go to a normal income protection route, the only confirmation you have is 12,500. Now, replacing that is not your lifestyle. Steve, you know that. You're not spending £1,000 on your lifestyle a month. And that's what your income protection is going to be. What does that do? Probably just pay a bit of a mortgage or your fuel or insurance. So when we come to business owners, their needs are slightly different. So we have to consider the dividends. How do you pay yourself? So if you're paying yourself ultimately, it may be in different times of the year, but ultimately, some people do dividends every year, every month. Others do at the end, depending how your business works. But we look at that whole case, and we'll look at what is the requirement for income protection. So that because you want it to come in and help you, not just to pay just for your fuel. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, one other thing I'd say, and I think this is an important thing for everybody to think about, no matter what it is, when you're buying something, I really do genuinely believe that it is so important to get the right advice, isn't it? You know, whether that's someone who needs help with marketing, or they need help with protecting their business, or even if they're, looking to buy a new car and they don't really know what to buy. Because why? Because they're not experts at that. You know, if you run your own business and you're listening to this, you're probably an expert in whatever it is you do. You're an expert accountant, you're a HR person, you're a hairdresser, whatever it is. But you're probably not an expert in protection, in insurance, and making sure. So, my recommendation quite clearly is go and speak to Joseph. He's a really good guy. He's ever so nice, as you probably picked up already. And, he's very professional at what he does. So, feel free to get in touch with him. Now, Joseph, if somebody wants your help, your expertise, and your knowledge, what should they do? What's the best way forward?
I think the best way, because we're online, LinkedIn will be the best way to get to me. And LinkedIn, I post on there, but also a DM would be fine. My contact details are on there.
Yeah.
So my LinkedIn is basically Joseph K Mayanja, because there is a few Joseph Mayanjas in LinkedIn,
Okay.
but I have a
Right.
K in
Right.
the middle for branding and
Okay.
differentiation.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's the best way. So if you're on LinkedIn, it really helps that way. I really the process is as simple as it's a meeting, initial consultation, really to understand where your situation is. What do you have in place? Because it's not a matter of bringing protection in. It's not a matter of recommending a product. It's a process. What do you have in? What don't you have? And where do you want to be? And then the gap basically becomes what we need to look at.
Okay.
And 9 out of 10, we find something we need to fix. Now, the initial consultation is
Okay.
complimentary, really.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's a nothing to lose situation.
Yeah.
And it's me putting time into protecting because I love this. And I found business owners do not have people focusing on them as such in terms of insurance. And your needs are slightly unique. And there are different ways, different and wonderful things we can do. We can have cover that is paid through the business. So your business is the one paying. Because I know most of all your listeners will be the same. If I'm going to spend something, I first ask, can I put it through the business?
Yes.
Why don't you put protection through the business? Because
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
protecting the business, then you
Yeah.
can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That does two things. It reduces what you pay. It reduces your corporation tax because it's done before tax. There are
Right.
many wonderful things.
Right.
If
Right.
your accountant hasn't told you that, you may ask
Yeah.
them,
You see, yeah,
why not?
people won't know that, will they? And that's where
Go and do
the
that. Yeah,
expertise comes in. So, yeah,
yeah.
brilliant. Okay. Okay, I think we're just about out of time. So I'd just like to say a big, big thank you, Joseph, for your time today and your expertise. And thanks for putting it over in what I'd say is a really nice way, explaining the importance of it and giving people the option of a free, no obligation review. So much appreciated. For everybody listening, thanks again for being here. I really do appreciate time. We're all very busy, and I always try to make sure that whether I'm on my own or I'm interviewing someone, I bring someone on who can add value and really, help in some way. And Joseph's definitely done that today. So thanks again. I look forward to seeing you next time on my podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to my podcast and also to my YouTube channel. So I've just hit, interestingly, Joseph, I've got 2,000 videos on YouTube. Can you believe that? I can't, I
You're
mean,
doing well, Steve. You're doing
mind,
very well.
because today,
Thank you.
today actually, which is we're recording this on the 1st of May, 2026. I've been in business for 31 years today. I know you're thinking, no, he must have been about 8 when he started, but sadly, that's not true. But
Well done, Steve. Happy anniversary.
it's quite something, isn't it? 31
It
years.
is.
It just seems like yesterday. It really does. And like
The
you,
third, the 30 years went quietly. I didn't see you
yeah,
talk about 30 years.
I did a bit. I did a bit. Yeah, yeah, 31 years. But I'm like you. I love it. If I won,
Oh,
literally, if I won the lottery tomorrow and got 10 million in the bank, I still carry on because I love it. Why would you stop doing something you love?
yeah,
Yeah, it's
very good.
good to do that. Anyway, we'll say goodbye for now. Thank you very much again, and speak soon. Thank you.